do you guys think? Think I'm kind of I don't think I'm a purple type of guy. Yellow just looks like an old bulb, doesn't it? I'm definitely, red is a little too edgy. Maybe a turquoise? Maybe a light blue? I'm feeling like a blue type of color, eh? What do you guys think? Put it down in the comment section below. What do you think? Blue, red, yellow, teal, green, pink? I don't think I can pull off pink that much. I think of blue. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. You're not here just to listen to me talk about colors. You're probably here because you remember me, you recognize me, maybe you're a fan of some of the things that I have to say, in which case I've heard some of the things that you guys have asked for or said. Some of them good, some of them bad, a lot of them good. Which is why I'm here doing the thing that I'm doing right now, you know? It also, for a couple of reasons, you know, gives me an excuse to utilize the equipment that I have at my disposal, just laying in my basement down, not doing a whole lot. So it gives me a good reason to pull those out and use them, and gives me a reason to still talk to you guys, give you a lot of that information that I still have that is still relevant, so I can still remain consistently active within the airsoft community and give you some information that you might think beneficial to whatever it is you're trying to do. So here I am. It's a little unfortunate. One of the first videos I feel like I could bring to the channel in order to give you guys some information. It's not one that I want to have a discussion about, quite honestly. It kind of hurts. It hurts me the most, and it is going to hurt you. But it's something that's been on the previous channel many times. It's been used for really cool content. I've got lots of, I had lots of gameplay with it, but that's either been accidentally deleted by myself or just is in a hard drive that I just don't have access to right now. So I may or may not be getting gameplay with this particular rifle in the near future. Has also been a point of contention in the comments in previous videos as well. Maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't. Anyway, enough teasing you with it. Let's actually bring it out. So the rifle in particular is going to be my replica gas blowback KWA LM4. And that's this guy right here. Now you're probably, if you guys remember at least, one of the things that I talked about is how much I love this rifle, and you're probably asking yourself, Town, why is this a sad video? Well, unfortunately, she's just gotten to the point that she's kind of starting to eat herself from the insides out. She's got, unfortunately, a gross cancer, and she's getting aged, you know, she's getting to the point where she's just getting too old for this, man. You know, I'm certainly not a kind, I think I'm a kind owner. I'm definitely not a gentle owner. You know, I put a lot of these through the paces, give them a run for their money in order to give you guys some information that you might think relevant and good knowledge for whatever it is you're trying to do. And unfortunately, that means that I kind of sacrificed this one in particular. And I love her. She was one of the working horses, you know, during the transfer move from Airsoft headquarters, video production, management, and just doing my own thing, getting this new chapter. This was one of the only rifles I didn't consider. Of the wall of things that I brought with me, this was one of the only ones I did not consider selling or getting rid of. It just has a special place in my heart, and I genuinely enjoyed working with her, and I still do. Unfortunately, like I said, she's kind of eating herself apart. I just ran her way too hard, but we're gonna break down like what could long-term usage, long-term fun look like for some of your airsoft guns. Now, I've had this one in particular for the last 3 years. I want to say I got this LM4 in the mid 2019 or or late 2019. That's when I want to say I got this one in particular. And of course, this is not in the original configuration. I've done a couple things to her. Put on a PTS Centurion Arms quad rail system. So it's kind of a quad rail, but also not a quad rail. Magpul stock, Magpul grip, changed the trigger guard out, and unfortunately broke one of the tabs on the other side here, not knowing that it wasn't 100, and it actually was 100% sized correctly. The unfortunate thing is that the actual trigger guard pin just wasn't 100% lined up from the receiver to the actual trigger guard, so I just hammered it and it just busted off and broke that anyway. And of course I kept the original front iron sight post. Why? Because salty old boomer man said that I can't run an optic with a front iron sight post. Joke's on you, man. I'm doing it, and I'm doing it real well. Made a couple of people salty with how well I was able to get this. But what are some of the points where she's actually starting to fail me? Oh, that hurts to say. Well, for starters, she's getting real loose. I know, jokes, she's getting loose. But I mean that the actual upper receiver and lower receiver are now getting to become a point where it is just increasingly unsteady with how much movement there is. And of course, I'm not holding it still, so you can't exactly see just how much movement. But I'm hoping that that's enough if I zoom in pretty close, that you'll be able to identify just how much that's moving back and forth. Which is not great at all. You typically don't want your receivers to be rattling around loose like that, especially with as weak as tolerance as Airsoft are going to be. The second point that this is going to start failing on you is the fact that the bolt is no longer going to hold to the rear. And that is I would probably say one of the primary functions of a gas blowback is that the entire receiver or the bolt specifically, is going to retract backwards into the receiver and into that buffer tube there, which, as a replica, is designed to replicate that of a real rifle. Now the problem is that sometimes it doesn't lock back. There it locks back. So she's good and worn in, and the other thing is that the magazines, while they are worn in, it's not actually the magazine itself, because there is the tab that is sitting right above that gas release valve. The problem, I didn't hit that bolt release. The problem resides on the bolt face itself. I'm going to hide this just out of view, just so that the YouTube gods don't get super upset. Or YouTube overlords. I'm not showing how to take this apart. Look at me. Didn't show you once how to take it apart. The problem is that this stuff is getting real worn out. And the stuff on the inside here is also getting worn out. So while the tabs themselves may still be good on the inside of the receiver, the actual part that interfaces with the bolt here is not doing really well. It is, like, just on the charging handle itself, a lot of those metal, those black parts are now becoming extremely shiny, and there's stuff on there. There's like actual physical chips. I can't tell if it's BB or if it's something else. Ooh, that was not BB material. That was actual hard metal stuff, which is not great. That's not what I want to see for my rifle, and it's not something I want to see for your guys' rifles either. But talking about the BBs and potentially how close it is to the hop-up unit, let's talk about the hop-up unit. It is relatively unchanged in the last 10 or 12 years that KWA has been producing the LM4 here, and I don't know if they continue on keeping it that way, if they plan on changing it at all. I, of course, have no type of insight as of right now, but to my knowledge, they're not going to be changing that, which is unfortunate. This one in particular, I don't want to speak for all of LM4s, but mine in particular will only feed consistently, not 100%. It will feed consistently with 0.25s and only 0.25s. If I were to feed it 0.20s, it jams often. If I go from a 2.5 up to a 2.8, it'll jam often, which is why I came up with the habit of pretty much in all of my gun bags to carry an unjamming rod and cleaning rod, just for the purpose of not only getting BBs unstuck, and BBs can get stuck. There was, I think at one point, up to 8 or 7 BBs stuck inside of this rifle in particular, which means that it was a not fun time to try to get potentially 8 BBs outside of this hop-up unit and this that inner barrel. It was not great, to say the least. And I certainly hope that that doesn't happen with you guys in particular, especially now with the gas below it, because these hop-up units are not only a pain in the ass, it is a fucking pain in the ass. Let me tell you, I have swapped and interchanged the the components of this hop-up unit more than once. In fact, I specifically ordered a multitude, a backup quantity of hop-up parts and components just for the sake of fixing or replacing my entire hop-up unit or just random parts and components in the case that it does decide to jam and destroy itself again, which, you know, these things just happen, okay? They just happen. It's not the fault of the rifle itself. Which leads into another point of issue. This is not the OEM KWA selector switch, but it is getting stuck, and it is getting violently stuck. In the case of like that, which is why I got the PTS Ambi one, is that it's supposed to be easier. Well, it makes it easier because now I have 2 points of contact that I can flip and rotate that selector, compared to the OEM one, which would be a selector just on this side here, where you have to flip and orientate the rifle like this, and really you got to get your thumb on it in order to actually get it to switch. The intention was that I could go on semi here, blop, 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 and then quick swap it into safe. Of course, that entire function needs to happen while you're behind the rifle and that hammer assembly is engaged. Because if it's not engaged, say like that, you can't really get it into safe, which is the unfortunate thing. So you gotta actually be aiming down, gonna quick put it on safe, like that. It's not great that it's now becoming harder and stiffer in order to actually get your rifle to go from semi to safe, or from the way others switch onto safe, or onto semi and then onto safe. I had that a little backwards there. Did you catch me? I caught myself. Joke's on you. So it's not great that somewhere on the inside there is a ball bearing that is either slipping or getting squashed, or there's a plate somewhere that is not aligning properly to engage something somewhere else. It's just becoming not great. That's really it. At this point, other than the fact that there is incredible scars and marring across this rifle system, and there is going to be an abundance of worn parts and components on the inside of here. Again, I've got my bin of spare parts. So in the case of my bin of parts, I do have replacement hop-up units, or bucking specifically, another pair of bucking, another bucking, just in case it rips on me not once, not twice, but 3 times, because it will do that. I also have replacement feed lips for my magazines, because, is this the one that's all leaky? Oh no, that one had gas in it. Because ultimately, something will fail on it. Replacement hop-up parts, replacement hop-up parts, and then the actual bolt with a not 100% assembled nozzle on the inside there. Now I'm assuming this is the PTS one. So, this is my bin of spare parts, or at least what is left of my spare parts. Like I said, I love this rifle system. It is a shame that she is becoming aged. She is getting to the actual worn down part of the livelihood of airsoft replicas. You know, just comes a time where a young man, a boy, needs to just let go of his rifles. But I'm not ready to let go just yet. So, that being said, I wanted to give you the update that it's not going well, but it's not going to go, if that makes sense. I'm still gonna run her into the ground, essentially, is what I'm gonna say. She has served me well, and I will let her go off with a good final hurrah. I've got a couple of spare parts. It's just a matter of what else is gonna fail that I'm gonna need to get another rifle system, which I was kind of debating doing another gas blowback build. I've got the magazines. I mean, I've got the magazines. It'd be a real shame if I didn't have another rifle for utilizing all of these other magazines. It just makes sense, you know? It just makes sense. Who's with me? But you know what? What really made me want to get this out and actually get it out and kind of dust it off again, kind of get it all prepped, all shiny, all lubed up, was the fact that a couple weeks ago I saw that there was a video of someone that said that you can't use a KWA LM4 for airsoft. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, maybe a little bit more than it should have, because this is still a very functional rifle system. And the idea is that as long as you take care of your rifle and you know how to maintain it, you know how to take care of your equipment, it will inherently take care of you. In this rifle system, as long as I fed her the right BBs, I gave her the right gas, I treated her good, she kept up with me. And that's all I would ask for any of my other equipment. You know, of the other things I'm going to talk about as well and bring up, this one held up the most, I think. I mean, of all my airsoft guns, I think this one is the oldest that also has the least amount of parts replaced on it. I mean, in total, I want to say the number of magazines I've shot through this in total is, do I dare say thousands of magazines? It's up there, honestly, like dead ass. Like, it is honestly up there for real, for real. I couldn't give you a 100% accurate answer, but I am darn sure it could be upwards of 800 or 900, if not 1,000 total magazines. Not only, I mean, it doesn't help I have like no gameplay currently on any of my hard drives or on this channel. I do have gameplay on the other channel. Maybe that'll work for you. But I've utilized this not only for airsoft, but also for personal training here and at the airsoft arena. I've also used this for gameplay at the airsoft arena and outdoors. I've also used this for personal military and law enforcement training options. That's usually a little more personal, and I've utilized this not only myself, but I've also loaned it to some of those law enforcement individuals to get a little bit of trigger time themselves. So that also goes in consideration as well. I mean, this is KWA. You want to send me another one? You want me to burn through that one as well? You're welcome to use any of this footage or get this rifle just very quickly for like a testimony of how well these are well built. They're not perfect by no means, but this has served me the best. I've had the most amount of fun with this rifle system in particular, And I'm going to continue to get gameplay footage with this one in particular because it truly is so much fun. Again, she's falling apart on me, but I love her nonetheless. She's treated me fair. I'm gonna continue to treat her well. And hopefully she dies a glorious death on the airsoft battlefield and I get on recording. That's probably the most that I would ask of her. Anyway, I have for sure chewed your ear off long enough. I've got bed. It is 10:48 and I've got work tomorrow. So do you guys. What are you doing up so late? Anyway, if you have any further questions, I'm sure someone might have a dozen questions about this rifle system in particular. Put them down in the comment section below, you know? Stay tuned for some gameplay with this one in particular. I'm still gonna continue to clean her up, make sure she's good and operational, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have some gameplay out. But stay tuned also for some more reviews, previews, discussions of these rifle systems in particular. Anyway, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.